Psalm 119, Day 27. Our thoughts today center around the words testimonies, commandments, precepts, word, and law. We'll spend some time today and tomorrow defining 10 words that were used in Psalm 119. For sure, they can give us an understanding of what they mean. But have you ever been given a word and its definition, and to help you understand it further, you ask, could you use that in a sentence? It is then that you can grasp it, perhaps, to its fullest. Many have endeavored through the centuries to define these terms. It is good to remember that each of these terms is like the facets of a diamond, each part of the gem, but distinct in its ability to refract the light as it passes through. The following definitions have been adapted or copied from various authors or dictionaries, since I could not hope to offer more than they have given as scholars themselves. Our first term is testimonies, the word edah. In its technical sense, as Strong's defines it, a testimony or a witness. A scholar wrote, denoting beyond, or farther, or all along, to bear witness or testimony, the rites and ceremonies of the law, because they point out matters beyond themselves, being types and representations of the good things that were to come. The word testimony is used 23 times in Psalm 119. And some notable verses are these. Verse 2, Blessed are those who keep his testimonies, who seek him with their whole heart. Verse 24, Your testimonies are my delight. They are my counselors. Verse 167, My soul keeps your testimonies. I love them exceedingly. And finally, verse 168, I keep your precepts and testimonies, for all my ways are before you. Our next term is commandments, the Hebrew word mitzvah. A command, whether human or divine, collectively the law, an ordinance, a precepts, as Strong's dictionary defines it. A scholar wrote, to command, order, ordain, because they show us what we should do and what we should leave undone, and exact our obedience. 20 times the word commandment is used in Psalm 119. Some notable verses are these. Verse 6, Then I shall not be put to shame, having my eyes fixed on all your commandments. Verse 10, With my whole heart I seek you. Let me not wander from your commandments. Verse 47, For I find my delight in your commandments, which I love. And finally, verse 176, I've gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek your servant, for I do not forget your commandments. Our next term is precepts, the Hebrew word pakud, properly appointment, that is, a mandate of God, collectively for the law, the commandment, precept, or statute, as Strong's gives us a definition. A scholar wrote, to take notice of care of a thing, to attend, to have respect to appoint, to visit, because they take notice of our way, have respect to the whole of our life and conversation, superintend, overlook, and to visit us in all the concerns and duties of life. 21 times precepts is used in Psalm 119. Some notable verses are these. Verse 4, You have commanded your precepts to be kept diligently. Verse 15, I will meditate on your precepts and fix my eyes on your ways. Verse 141, I am small and despised, yet I do not forget your precepts. Verse 173, Let your hand be ready to help me, for I have chosen your precepts. Our next term is word, dabar, the Hebrew word. A word, by implication, a matter of a thing. Adverbially, a cause, a commandment, or a chronicle, as from Strong's dictionary. A scholar wrote, from the same root to discourse, utter one's sentiments, to speak consecutively and intelligibly, in which it appears to differ from malal to utter articulate sounds. Any prophecy or immediate communication from heaven, as well as the whole body of divine revelation, is emphatically called the Word of Jehovah. The term word occurs 23 times in Psalm 119. Some notable verses are these. Verse 9, how can a young man keep his way pure? By guarding it according to your word. Verse 11, I have stored up your word in my heart, that I might not sin against you. Psalm 105, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Verse 172, my tongue will sing of your word, for all your commandments are right. Our next term is law, the Hebrew word Torah, a precept or statute, especially the Decalogue or Pentateuch, from Strong's Dictionary. It means to direct or guide, to teach, to make straight, because it guides, directs, and instructs in the way of righteousness, makes our path straight, shows what is even and right, and points us onward to peace, truth, and happiness. It is even our schoolmaster to bring us to Christ, that we may be justified through faith, and by it is the knowledge of sin. 25 times in Psalm 119 the term law occurs. Some notable verses are these. Verse 1, blessed are those whose way is blameless, who walk in the law of the Lord. Verse 53, hot indignation seizes me because of the wicked who forsook your law. Verse 163, I hate and abhor falsehood, but I love your law. Verse 174, I long for your salvation, O Lord, and your law is my delight. Can you begin to grasp why the author of Psalm 119 used so many different terms for the Word of God? And Lord willing, we'll meet here again tomorrow.